What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to show you how to frame a deck over top of a concrete slab. We'll talk about materials, we'll talk about how we went about it, and we'll talk about some of the things you're going to want to look out for on a project like this. So make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned. This is going to be a freaking huge deck. All right, let's recap what got us up to this point so far. In the process of designing this project, there was a couple immovable elevations that we had to design around. One being the pool deck, two being the back door. We wanted it to also flow naturally from the back door down to the pool deck without feeling too separate. So we decided on this three-tiered layout, and that makes it so that there are 3 or less risers in between each section, which also eliminates the need for a handrail. We can have these big sweeping steps. To accommodate that, we needed to cut back the existing concrete slab to make room for the lower deck. But by cutting back that slab, we removed a retaining wall, and we needed to rebuild that in its new position to prevent any washout and to prevent any sagging of the slab in the future. We decided on a 6x6 pressure treated retaining wall, number one, because the ease of installation, we were able to do it really quickly, and cost. It's a really affordable option. And number 3, it's all gonna be covered, so it didn't really matter what it looks like. Now that we're all caught up to speed, let's jump into it, and we'll start by talking about our elevations from the lower deck that we just built in the last video. If you missed that, hit the link right up here, you can catch up.
Great.
Oh yeah. We've got our lower deck framed up, and now you can see what we've done is come off of this elevation, and we've got our joist for our top deck temped up here with these scabs. Got a couple screws in them right here, and that is giving us our exact elevation that we need here. This is all gonna be stairs, so we need it to be exact. 23 1/4. So 3, what?
23 1/4?
Yeah, you knew it, and that's what it's at. You can't trick me.
I did 23 2/8.
Oh, that'll work.
Okay.
With the conversion rate, that'll work.
All right.
So we have 23 1/4 across this whole set here, and same thing around the corner, and we've got that temped up. So a couple shims here, and it gets us right at our elevation. So we have these two sides completely good, and now we can move on to the rest of the joist. So Ant is now screwing these in.
Cool, right?
I think so. I think it's real cool. So we've got our layout marked on this rim joist, and we're just running all of our interior joists. And here is where we're gonna need to take a laser measurement off of that height right there. We're gonna have to match it up over here so that when we install this rim joist, brings everything in, and then we'll double check some spots right in the middle just to make sure everything is nice and level, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Just custom.
I'd say it's custom. It's definitely custom. So, it's warming up too.
Yeah, nice.
Next week's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
60, 58, I think, on Monday.
What?
Right?
But I think they're going for a lot of rain.
Are they?
Yeah. You know what you know enough about me, right?
It's falling from the sky. He ain't working.
I ain't working.
Haha.
This extra couple minutes in bed with my lovely fiance.
Romantic.
What?
Romantic. One thing that you might be wondering for your project is how do you evaluate your concrete slab to make sure that it's going to be good enough to build on top of? A couple of the main things to look out for here are going to be, number one, the pitch of the concrete. Water's going to accumulate towards your foundation, and that's not something that you want. The other thing is just the stability of it. Is the slab in good shape? Are there visible cracks? Can you see it sinking? If any of those things are happening, you're gonna wanna reconsider how you build your deck. But if it's not sinking or heaving, then you're probably gonna be in good shape. Some superficial cracking is fine, but if it's all unlevel and it doesn't look like a stable base to build on, then just don't rip it out. You can start from scratch, and hopefully that helps. Those are gonna be the main things that you wanna look for. We'll get our decking down on here before we get our stairs going. Because how many, we got a lot of stairs here. How many stringers did we cut?
We have like 34.
Okay, yeah, we got a lot. One of the things that we decided to do here, and the reason behind it, the reason behind starting with this lowest deck first is because we want a consistent height off of our pool deck, and we decided to go with all of our risers being at 7 3/4. That worked out to the smoothest math possible, and that leaves us with 1 step from pool deck up to our lowest deck, 3 risers up to our middle deck, 3 more risers up to our top deck, and that leaves us with roughly 15 inches from that top deck into our door. So we can play around with that height quite a bit, and that way everything is kind of perfect. So if it ends up being 2 7.5-inch risers into the house, perfect. If it ends up being 2 7-inch risers, that's perfect. But we didn't want to start up there, then work our way down and realize, oh no, at the bottom we need an 8.5-inch riser down to the pool deck. That would be really cumbersome and out of code. So we didn't want to do that, and this way we have that play up top to just whatever that height is, we're splitting it in half, 2 risers into the house, good to go. It's got a gap up top.
I'm not done. I don't want to do the top too tight because the gap is so big the screw bogs out.
Camera?
No, not person.
Oh, shorts.
What?
Oh, you don't know what that means. That means like good burn. All right, Catherine, you looking for something to do? You bored? We just got to cut this this little, yeah, or even a Sawzall.
This?
Yep. Well, the zippy tool's gonna be hard to get behind there, all the way down to the bottom.
Okay.
And then we'll stuff it with something to seal it off, just in case it's tied into anything. But right now, all it's doing is catching this tiny little, 4-foot gutter. And that's not gonna be there anymore. We're ripping that off.
Gutter's going?
Not in the way.
Whoa. Oh, get out of the way.
Yeah, that's going, because we're, we're building a pergola in there.
All right, onto the zippy tool.
Cool.
Sunglasses. It's so bright out here.
It really is.
Yeah, do your best.
Okay.
No, do Ant's best. Remember when he said that joke? I know you're trying your best, but can you try someone else's best? That was funny.
What's this doing?
That's structural.
That's structural. Okay.
Nah, you can take it out. Here's jam it with this.
One little hanger. Hey, 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 hey!
What? There we go.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Let's see what's in there. Nothing.
Bugs.
Nothing.
No bugs?
No, nothing really. Just something to seal. I doubt it's connected to anything else, but put something over it. That's a good idea.
What?
I don't know. Like
I can't put anything over it because the joists are gonna go right there. What if I just put like flashing tape?
Boom. Perfect. Oh, did you say hold it up or film you?
You can
Just
do
slide
both.
it right under there.
Well, I want to do a good job here, Sean.
You're doing a great job.
Oh God, oh God. I figure at the very least it'll stick pretty good to the PVC. Tiny, tiny rim.
Yeah. It just needs to like, and then once like the deck's on top of it, it's not gonna go nowhere.
What?
Once,
Not gonna go nowhere.
It ain't gonna go nowhere. Like, there's gonna be a deck on top. I just don't want a bunch of dirt pouring down it right now. Once it's all sealed up, nothing's gonna get down there.
All right, well, it's kind of attached to these shims. How are the shims?
Structural.
You need those?
No, not really.
Okay.
So you see that line right there on the wall?
Yes, I do. Yep, sure do.
So that right there, that's our height that
That's
we
where
need.
you want it to be. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great job.
No, it's got to lift up. Can it come to me more? More? There you go. Can you push that against the house?
Nice. You ever seen that voodoo where it's like a thing is like a cord is underneath of there, and then they do some sort of knot on the other side, and then just like disappears in away from it? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like the rope's going that way, and you're like stuck on it, and they do something where they pull it through. You put your hand through it, put it back around, and then you pull that way, and ta-da! You're out of it.
I didn't understand that, but it's pretty cool. Like if a cord is underneath it here and it's trapped, you like make some sort of knot on this side and then like pull it, and then it's like not under there. It's some sort of like not voodoo, but it is voodoo. It's not voodoo, but it is voodoo. I know a perfect tip for something like this.
What?
To get that joist up.
What is it?
You can put your square on there and put a screw through it. I saw a video about it. No. Everyone that commented on that last video is gonna be so happy. Just use your hand! Just use your hand! Still gotta use that trick.
Just a little low.
How many people are standing around? Is that what you're counting?
4.
I'm filming. So because we're building this over the slab and the slab is not gonna be perfectly level, we're gonna have it, you know, it's pitched as it is, plus you're gonna have some slight inconsistencies, and we want this bearing on our slab as much as possible. So it came up with the great idea of just running all of our blocking, so we've got it about 6 feet apart from each other, and just running our blocking so that it's tight down to the slab. That's gonna do a couple things. It's gonna keep it low enough here where we can plane all of our joists, get them nice and flat, and they're not gonna interfere. Plus it's giving us solid bearing points every 6 feet throughout the whole thing, and this way it's not gonna move. So we've got it bearing directly on top of our retaining wall all the way across here, and going back towards the house, and then every 6 feet we've got solid bearing. So it's keeping a majority of these joists off of the concrete, which is good because it can breathe. It's not gonna hold any water, but we still have solid bearing, so it's gonna be rock solid. So we've got this whole thing framed up. We're basically ready for decking on here, and you can see with the mid-span blocking, that's also acting as a support and shimming us up that little bit. So it worked out really great. Next thing that we're doing is building this. We've already got it built, but you're gonna have to tune in to the next video to see us frame up this top deck, freestanding on helical piles, and building this pergola with this crazy cantilever. So make sure you hit subscribe, stay tuned, and until next time, this has been Premier Outdoor Living. Now you can cut it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. See you next. Bye.